Who doesn't like first-person shooter games, especially when they are free? So today in this video, we are jumping and take a look at 30 of the most incredible, completely free-to-play first-person shooter games you should absolutely try out right now in early 2025. And this will include some of the brand new games that came out during the last few months, and also some of the fan-favorite popular titles that we can't miss out. And also I'm going to include a couple of more upcoming games as well. So whether you are into casual shooters, competitive shooters, tactical shooters, or even battle royale games, you definitely clicked on the right video. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Alright, starting at number 30, we got one of the biggest games to came out in 2024, and I'm talking about XDefiant. But obviously you guys know the reason why I put this game so far down at number 30, because recently Ubisoft announced the game will be shutting down in a few months time. But honestly, it's a pretty fun, fast-paced, arcadey first-person shooter I genuinely had fun playing. But unfortunately, if you're someone who knew and never played the game before, you won't be able to make an account to play the game, but I feel like it's still worth mentioning in our today's list. Ironsight is going down as one of my favorite free-to-play shooters of all time. It's a very fun, fast-paced, futuristic, arcadey first-person shooter, kind of similar to Call of Duty Black Ops 2, packed with typical PvP game modes for both casual and competitive play. But obviously nowadays in 2025, the game is mostly abandoned. There's only about few hundred people playing at the moment. Yes, the game is bit old, bit outdated, but thankfully the game is still receiving continuous update, bug fixes, and seasonal content throughout the year. Next up, we got Rose, a brand new free-to-play arena style of a shooter with extremely unique art style and fast-paced gunplay. But the cool part is, in order to progress through the game, you have to sacrifice different body parts like your arms, legs, your heart, which ultimately let you gain new weapons and abilities. So each run feels different, and it's going to get more difficult as you progress through the game. Pretty cool indie first-person shooter with some awesome mechanics. If you're a fan of roguelike games, it's a great shooter to check out right now for absolutely free. Up next, we got Spectre Divide, an awesome 3v3 tactical shooter that emphasizes on a unique mechanic called duality. Yes, in this game, you can actually control two bodies in a real time, letting you defend two sides at once, cover your own cross, or even trade yourself to get more info. It's such a unique mechanic, something we haven't really seen in any other tactical shooters too, that pretty much guarantee you'll get a second chance in every single round. It's a great first-person shooter with solid gunplay, smooth mechanics, and a slick art style, but the game kinda lost majority of its player base during the last few months or so, something you have to keep in mind. Next up, we got Battle Teams 2, a fast-paced multiplayer arcade first-person shooter, kinda like the Chinese version of Call of Duty. And this game packed with some amazing game modes for both casual and competitive play, including typical stuff like deathmatch, team deathmatch, 5v5 demolition, and bunch of other casual modes alongside a battle royale mode. But the definite highlight for me personally is the single player / co-op zombie campaign that you can play with up to 2 of your friends. The game got great visuals, animation, and smooth gunplay, and on top of all that, it can actually run on a low-end potato PC. Definitely give it a try if you haven't played it already. If you're in for real hardcore tactical military simulation style of a shooter, next up we got Operation Harsh Doorstop. And this is a completely free-to-play, community-driven tactical shooter that kinda aims to provide an alternative to more popular modern-day shooters like Arma 3 or Scots. But this is more like a sandbox style of a game with incredible mod support and community-driven content, and the game doesn't have any microtransaction or any pay-to-win elements. Absolutely free for everyone to download and enjoy. Next up we got One Armed Robber, not like your typical first-person shooter I would say, but it's an extremely fun, chaotic first-person heist game that you can play with another friend. In this game, you're pulling off different heists on banks, shops, and various type of establishment, but the catch is you can only use one of your hands. So end of the day, everything is going to be super fun, chaotic in a best possible way. Absolutely fun co-op game to check out right now, and it is completely free to play. Combat Masters is a pretty cool multiplayer Call of Duty alternative that you can actually play on your low-end PC or laptop for absolutely free. And this game got a whole collection of game modes including team deathmatch, capture the flag, search and destroy, arms race, and bunch of other game modes alongside a dedicated battle royale mode called Combat Zone. The game got pretty minimalistic visuals, decent gunplay, and smooth movement mechanics that I would argue somewhat better than Call of Duty. Pretty fun multiplayer shooter to play on your low-end PC, and also comes with a very small download size of less than 2 GB. Up next we got Polygon, a free-to-play multiplayer first-person shooter that take the best part of tactical shooters and wrap them them in a stylish Polygon-like aesthetic. And this game is actually kind of like the low-budget version of a Battlefield game, and it's relatively underrated on Steam. Right now the game doesn't have like a huge collection of game modes, but it got large-scale maps, team-based combat, and variety of weapons to customize your loadouts. The gunplay is actually pretty snappy, satisfying, and surprisingly polished for a free-to-play indie shooter. Definitely a cool little multiplayer game to try out right now, especially if you're a fan of Battlefield-style games. Next up, we got one of my favorite indie shooters that I played last year, and that is Harbinger, a free-to-play boomer shooter that kind of masterfully blend that 90s style nostalgic with a modern-day gameplay and a pixelated art style. It's a roguelike arena shooter where you jump in and blast through hordes of enemies and ultimately resorting you with crystals, and you can use this crystal to upgrade your current loadout or unlock new weapons or abilities or even some fire soundtracks in the game. Overall, it's a pretty cool boomer shooter, completely single player as well, and only take you about a couple of hours to complete. Next up, we are diving into the immersive world of Stalcraft X, a free-to-play MMO FPS that drop you deep into the Chernobyl exclusion zone. It's a very popular game on Steam right now, having like 20,000 concurrent players, and it is masterfully blending that survival horror elements with an expensive open world to explore. There are a lot of stuff that you can do in the game, for example like hunting for artifacts, engage in faction wars, or simply explore this pretty dark post-apocalyptic landscape. Also, there is an open economy system that let you trade, craft, and customize your gear, a very popular free-to-play survival MMO to check out right now in 2025. Paladins is a free-to-play hero shooter that needs absolutely no introduction, and it's been holding its ground for years now. It is not as popular as it used to be, but still holding on to about 3,000 daily concurrent players, which is pretty decent. And right now the game is having more than 50 plus champions, each with unique weapons, abilities, and different playstyles. So let's say if you love playing hero shooters like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch 2, but your PC is not good enough to run the game, then Paladins is absolutely your best option right now. If you have been looking for something that blends Call of Duty Warzone style gunplay with more optimized lightweight experience, our next game is hands down the game for you, and I'm talking about BloodStrike. It's an awesome little battle royale first-person shooter packed with incredible amount of game modes for both casual and competitive play, alongside a 100-player battle royale mode just work like Call of Duty Warzone. I had tons of fun playing this game last year, and now it's pretty easy to download since the game is directly available on Steam. Next up, we got SCP Secret Laboratory, a free-to-play multiplayer horror game where every match mixed with a survival, deception, and pure unpredictability. So this game, you trap inside this underground secret SCP facility, and you can spawn as one of the several different roles. For an example, like the scientist who trying to desperately escape, or a security officer trying to clean up the mess, or even a SCP anomaly that try to hunt down everyone. So each match is going to be different. There is a great replayability value here, and also the game is right now having 90% positive reviews on Steam. Imagine Escape from Tarkov but free to play without an insane learning curve. If that sounds good to you, next up we got Arena Breakout Infinite. It's a free to play hardcore tactical first person extraction shooter where you drop into the high stakes maps, scavenge for loot, taking down enemies, and most importantly trying to extract without losing it. The gunplay is hands down one of the best I have seen in a free to play shooter, with insanely detailed and intense gunfight. The game gives you the full control of your loadout with in-depth customization, and right now the game is on early access, so the way to download right now is through a direct launcher from their website, but most likely the game will be coming out pretty soon on Steam. Next up we got a game, well, not technically a game, more like a game mode inside Fortnite, and I'm talking about Fortnite Ballistics. So this is a free-to-play 5v5 tactical shooter style of a mode inside Fortnite, focuses a lot on intense action and precision gunplay, and obviously the game is free-to-play and it's made using the Fortnite engine. In my opinion, it's not as good as something like Valorant or Counter-Strike, but still a pretty nice game mode to try out if you're into 5v5 tactical shooters. Despite being one of the most criticized games on Steam, Overwatch 2 is still a very popular 5v5 hero shooter that is all about fast-paced, ability-driven combat with a colorful cast of characters. And of course, with the release of Marvel Rivals, the Overwatch 2's popularity and the overall player counts kinda declined, but as someone who play Overwatch 2 more casually, I would say I had a really fun time playing this. Alright, next up we got Team Fortress 2, one of the most legendary and chaotic multiplayer shooters ever made. Despite the game released way back in 2007, I'm sure at least few of you guys still playing this game to this date. The game got a total of 9 unique classes, each with their own weapons and abilities, and it's all about teamwork and objective and a perfect mix of skill, strategy, and absolute nonsense. And thanks to its cartoony visuals, the game literally can run on any type of potato PC or laptop in 2025, and I'm sure most of you guys already played this game by now. Alright, now we are moving on to one of the best free-to-play World War II shooters you can play right now, and this is Enlisted. And this is more like a free-to-play MMO style of a shooter shooter that blends massive battle with tactical gameplay, but one of the things that is stand out is the squad-based combat system, and in this game, instead of controlling a single soldier, you command a full squad of troops, each with different classes. So it's like managing a mini army while you focus on the action, and you can customize and adjust their loadout however you like. There is a huge collection of maps, weapons, and customization options available in the game, but the game is a bit on the grindy side, something you have to keep in mind. Next up, we got Halo Infinite, one of the games that had lots of up and downs since launch. But despite everything, it is the latest entry in the legendary sci-fi shooter series, and it is actually pretty fun to play in 2025. During the last year or so, they added tons of changes to the game, adding classic weapons, maps that kind of bring back that dedicated player base. Right now, it is very popular on Steam, very positive reviews, and also having close to like 7,000 plus daily concurrent players. Alright, moving on to the top 10 spot, we got a couple of upcoming games. So if you're watching this video sometimes down the line, these games probably be out by now. Alright, first game is called Fragpunk, an upcoming 5v5 fast-paced hero shooter with power-up card that change the rule of each round. And generally speaking, this is kind of similar to a game like Valorant, but much more casual gunplay, so everybody can jump in and enjoy. And there's also a cool mechanic called shard cards, which you can deploy at any time when you're in the round. With different combinations, abilities, there are more than 100 plus shard cards that you can collect. Pretty cool first-person shooter to keep your eye on, and the game will be coming out on 6th of March 2025. As a fan of the first game, Splitgate 2 is one of the first-person shooter games that I'm really excited to play this year. And if you ever played the first game, it's kind of a mash between Halo and Portal. And this brand new Splitgate 2 comes with new maps, revamped progression system, and improved graphics. Also a good amount of game modes for both casual and competitive play. So far I've seen a bunch of gameplays and I can't wait to get my hands on with this one, but unfortunately we don't have an exact release date right now. Alright, next up we got Call of Duty Warzone, obviously one of the most popular games, and some people absolutely hate this one. I used to play Warzone a lot a couple of years ago, but I haven't really go back and check out the game in a very long time. Still pretty popular despite having mixed reviews on Steam. If you love Call of Duty, you're gonna play it, otherwise you just don't. But anyway, it's completely free to play. Alright, now we are moving on to the most popular games, and of course next up we got Destiny 2. It is one of those games that offers you an immersive and expensive sci-fi universe to explore, and you can literally spend thousands of hours in this game. It may not be the most beginner friendly or the free to play friendly game on the market, but somehow if you got a couple of friends who experience playing Destiny 2, it's still one of the best free to play co-op games you can play right now. Alright, next up we got one of the most popular battle royales on the market, Apex Legends. I don't think I have to explain too much, but unlike your typical first person battle royale game, this one is all about teamwork and hero based abilities. You basically jump into a game, pick one of the unique characters called Legends, and each with their own special abilities, for an example like healing drones, teleportation, and even creating shield for your team. But at the moment right now the game is kind of losing its popularity a little bit, but still a very popular game on Steam, having more than 100,000 plus daily concurrent players. Alright, moving on to top 5, I don't think you will find any surprising games here. At number 5 we got Valorant, one of the most popular hero based 5v5 tactical shooters from Riot Games. The game has a diverse roster of agents, ranked matchmaking, consistent update. Valorant is one of the most polished and competitive shooters on the market, but it can be challenging, especially if you are new to first person shooters or any 5v5 tactical shooter. But still, if you love playing Valorant, I'm sure you already played the game by now. PUBG Battlegrounds is one of the OG battle royale games that started it all. It may not be categorized as a typical first person shooter game, but I personally playing PUBG only on the first person mode because I think the gunplay is absolutely top notch. I'm not going to explain much because I'm assuming basically everybody who watching this video played PUBG or PUBG Mobile at any point of your gaming career. It's basically a last man standing shooter where you and 99 other players drop into this massive map, scavenge for weapons, and fight to survive. Hands down one of the most popular battle royales on the market, still going very strong in 2025. Number 3 we got Counter-Strike 2, the long-awaited next-gen upgrade to the legendary CSGO. With all the upgrades that came to CSGO, the core gameplay remains that classic ultra-competitive 5v5 tactical shooter. It's still one of the best competitive esports games on the market. I don't really have the time to play the game more regularly nowadays, but I already put close to like thousands hours into it. One of the best games on the market and always feels special when you jump back in. If I ask the question, what is the best free-to-play first-person shooter that came out in the last couple of years, most likely your answer is going to be The Finals. It's a fast-paced, action-packed arena style of a first-person shooter with incredible gunplay, fully destructible environment, and a good amount of game modes for both casual and competitive play. There are 3 main classes that you can choose from: light, medium, or heavy, each with their own gear and play style and different strength and weaknesses. And this game came out end of 2023 and it was extremely popular on Steam. Nowadays the popularity is kind of declined, but still holding on to about 15,000 players on Steam. The game is still receiving continuous updates, brand new season season, seasonal content, which is always great to see. Somehow if you never played this game before, it is your time to jump in. Alright, at number 1 spot we got Delta Force, an iconic first-person shooter series finally returning to the modern-day audience. And the game is packed with 3 main game modes, including a large-scale PvP warfare mode with a great variety of maps, weapons, vehicles, and tons of customization options. And next one is the 3-man extraction mode called Operation, and finally we got a single-player portion of the game which is called Black Hawk Down, and it's going to come out pretty soon. It is hands down my favorite free-to-play shooter to play right now, and I already put more than 100 hours into the game. So if you're a fan of Battlefield style large-scale game modes or even extraction mode, Delta Force is a great free-to-play alternative to check out right now, and you can download the game directly through Steam as well as on Epic Game Store. Well, there you have it guys, 30 of the most incredible completely free-to-play first-person shooter games you can play right now. And if I missed any good free-to-play first-person shooters, let me know down in the comment section, and also drop a comment down below mentioning what is your favorite game from our today's list. And finally guys, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel as we cover pretty much any content related to free-to-play games. I'll catch you guys soon in the next one. Stay safe.